Hi everyone, this is Niharika from Your Legal Career Coach. We are a mentorship platform for law students. And on our YouTube channel, you'll find us interviewing students and industry professionals to make your journey easier. Today, we have with us Nidhi Kulkarni ma'am. She pursued her Masters of Laws degree from Tata Institute of Social Sciences and is currently working as an assistant professor with the Presidency University, Bangalore. In this session, she will guide us and talk about her journey of LLM from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Welcome, ma'am. I request you to please introduce yourself to our audience, after which we can begin with the session. Over to you.
You introduced most of it. I'm currently in Bangalore working as an assistant professor. I just switched from Presidency to PES Faculty of Law. And so far, it's been 1 year of teaching. I have completed my graduation BLLB from Siagat Law College, affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. Then it was LLM from TISS. LLM Access to Justice, and that's more about it.
Right. What led you to choose Tata Institute of Social Sciences for your LLM, and how did the program align with your career goals at that point?
So back then, I really did not have a fixed set of goals that I wanted to do this, I wanted to litigate, I wanted to do. No, it was not fixed. I tried my hand at everything. I did a bit of litigation. I interned in Pune court. Then I was working in IPR also, mostly geographical indications. That is also where my reason for joining law, it's a very cliche one, that I wanted to be the voice for the voiceless, do something for the community. It just strengthened more with GI because it is one IPR which is given to the community at large. And while working with an IPR firm in Pune, we did get to see the impact it made. It was a very brief 3-month internship. I did not do much internships back then. And it was my sister who made me apply for LLM in TISS. I did not give CLAT. I did not give any other entrance examination. Back then, TISS only had TISS NET exam. And the only source of information about this was my sister, who had heard it from her friend. And that TISS is good. We did not have much information about it, so it was me rapidly searching what all like whatever I could find about this back then, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I joined, and it has significantly impacted since then. This has so much to offer for everybody. I mean, you may go there without. Most of my classmates also were just LLB graduates, did not know what else to do. That is why I came to TISS. I did not give CLAT. That is why I came to TISS. And but there were a few who were much more experienced, who did know what they wanted in life, and they had chosen this particularly for its subjects, particularly for the fieldwork it gave, and we learned a lot. It was good.
Right. Could you walk us through
It,
the application process for the LLM program at TISS, and what were the key steps that students need to be aware of?
yes, the I'll just focus on how it is now. I won't speak about testnet, so not to confuse the audience.
Right.
Now, completely, this admission is focused on CUET scores, CUET PG scores. 75% weightage is given to the CUET PG scores, and 25% weightage is given to the online assessment. Now, this CUET-PG is common across India, conducted by a national testing agency. And now again, this year, they have come up with one more modification to the exam, that it won't contain any general paper. It will only contain subject-specific, domain-specific paper. So now the 300 mark MCQ exam will only have law-specific questions. And now the subjects include contract 1, contract 2, family, constitution, admin, public international law, CRPC, IPC, juvenile justice, prohibition of offenders, jurisprudence, professional ethics, almost all the subjects which one covers for net exam or set exam. That is one good thing about it, that if you study well for CUET PG, you would definitely be able to crack net in the first attempt. So while you're attempting, while you are in your first year of LLM, or while you are doing your LLM, within 6 months, you will also have your net cleared, considering you have studied for all these subjects. So 75% weightage, there's a negative marking as well. It's a 75 MCQs. Correct MCQ 4 marks, and there's a -1 negative marking for a wrong answer. So adds up to 300 marks in total. Once you give your CUET, the timeline is, I mean, they have just released the notification, and the exam is somewhere in the second week of March. And the application time would be somewhere from December to January. So one has to be aware about when they are applying, because first you'll have to apply for CUET dot that samarth dot that official website of CUET. So December, be aware that you'll have to go apply there. Once you are done with your exams, keep checking the website, be it CUET 1 or the TISS 1. Keep checking the website. Then by March, you would have given your exam. April, they would release their answer key, and April end or May beginning is when you would get your CUET scores. So this was the CUET part. This would add up to the 75% of the admission part in this. After you get your CUET scores, you can go and apply for the TISS PG courses. Now, out of this PG course, we are applying for the LLM one. Even now, I think they earlier they used to have you could choose multiple courses. If not LLM, you could have chosen some other thing also. Even now, the brochure did mentions that you can apply for multiple courses. I'm not sure how it works, but we'll only focus on LLM. And since the intake is only 30, it would be completely the shortlisting of candidates based on what are their marks, and the basically shortlisting of candidates. The shortlisted candidates would then get a call letter. And these shortlisted candidates, then they have to keep checking the TISS website as to when they will release a DAF form. DAF is the detailed application form, which one has to fill before you go to the online assessment. Online assessment carries 25% for this part. The DAF would then require, it's a Word file. It would, back in my time, it would require to mention why are you choosing this, your biographical sketch, and what have you, something you want to add up, which worked in your field, something which you want to add, your achievements. So that's more about the DAF. This DAF will form the basis for your online assessment also. One part of online assessment. Now, this online assessment of 25% weightage is further divided into extempo topic, a reflective topic for that, which would be for 2 to 3 minutes. One has to speak on that extempore. The topic would be given by a 3-member panel. If you're not comfortable with the first topic, they would give you a second topic also. However, they will not give you a third topic. And another part of the online assessment is online personal interview. This online personal interview is completely based on the DAF, which would assess why is the, what are the candidates' interests towards a specific subject, basic knowledge about whatever they have studied in this 5 years or 3 years. And what is the inclination towards selecting that particular LLM, and how much are they aware about the socioeconomic realities of our country. And they may ask you any relevant topic of today. That's more about the application process. Once these scores are finalized, you would get your final score, and that final score is released within, you keep checking the TISS website, you will know what are the timelines. So once they are sure about, once they release the marks, you can go for the document verification. So that remains the same.
Thank you for the entire roadmap that you laid for us. Just a quick question. Does TISS also offer specialized courses even in LLM, or is it a general LLM that it offers?
It's a specialized one. And the specialization is in access to justice.
Okay, right. And that is the
Human
only
rights.
LLM program that is available.
Yes, that is now they are starting again. This year is they are also starting with one other dual degree program. It will be a 2-year program. It's more of an MA. Even I'm not sure. My
Right.
faculty recently spoke to me about that because you will get from TISS Hyderabad also and from TISS Mumbai also. So it's a public policy plus LLM. So
Right.
I'm not
Right.
sure.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but that's only LLM in access to justice.
Right. What are the critical factors that TISS considers during the application evaluation?
Critical fact, your inclination, your interests. For example, if two people have the same scores and there's a tie, they would still choose your online assessment score over your CUET scores.
Right.
So your inclination, your interest towards the social justice part. If you're coming, if you're there to do a corporate one, if you come from corporate internships, or they can read through you.
Right.
They can. I mean, the faculties, and even with the faculties, you know who can ask what. Now we can say that that person would have asked these questions considering their expertise.
Right.
So mostly it may be from constitution is one thing which they'll ask. I remember my topic itself was Article 19. It's a very generic topic. You
Right.
can speak whatever you want. And then they asked me landmark judgments relating to it. That's the most, yeah, that's
Right.
the
So the
most
interview
important
did
of it.
not stretch for too long. Can we say that?
It was, I guess, a 30-40 minute interview, if I'm not wrong.
Right. Right. Entirely based
They
on
asked me
technical. Sorry.
yes.
So was it entirely based on the technical queries, or was it also the personality test?
It was completely based on the DAF which I had sent.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Right.
knew where I was entering. It's like if I'm mentioning something, I knew I could answer about it. So
Right.
in my detailed application form, if I say I have interned in, if I have interned in IPR, and not
Right.
questions related to broad questions related to IPR would come.
Right.
So what is the copyright? What is a trademark? Basic questions like these also.
Right.
So if I'm saying I worked in POXO, they would ask me what is the definition of a child.
Right.
Something which you may overlook, which you may not think is necessary, they may ask such questions also.
Right.
So you have to make sure what you're writing in the DAF, you should be able to defend it. It goes for most of the interviews. Whatever you're writing in your CV, resume, this acts as RCV there. So whatever you are writing there, make sure you know about it or don't write. Best.
Makes sense, yes. So how well in advance should one start preparing for these entrance tests? And so it's not just about the entrance test. If you have to prepare for all these other allied tests that follow the entrance test, how well in advance should one start preparing for it?
For entrance test, I think now also it would be less to study about it because you're studying the entire law, 5 years of law. So begin as soon as possible for CUET at least, because with CUET you can apply for other colleges also. If you're asking TISS specific, then from today try to have that outlook of a very social justice. Start thinking about the marginalized. Start thinking about how you can empower, how litigation can help in making justice reach to everybody, make it more accessible to everybody. So marginalized groups,
Right.
best.
Makes sense, yes. So how well in advance should one start preparing for these entrance tests? And so it's not just about the entrance test. If you have to prepare for all these other allied tests that follow the entrance test, how well in advance should one start preparing for it?
For entrance test, I think now also it would be less to study about it because you're studying the entire law, 5 years of law. So begin as soon as possible for CUET at least, because with CUET you can apply for other colleges also. If you're asking TISS specific, then from today try to have that outlook of a very social justice. Start thinking about the marginalized. Start thinking about how you can empower, how litigation can help in making justice reach to everybody, make it more accessible to everybody. So marginalized groups,
Right.
best.
Makes sense, yes. So how well in advance should one start preparing for these entrance tests? And so it's not just about the entrance test. If you have to prepare for all these other allied tests that follow the entrance test, how well in advance should one start preparing for it?
For entrance test, I think now also it would be less to study about it because you're studying the entire law, 5 years of law. So begin as soon as possible for CUET at least, because with CUET you can apply for other colleges also. If you're asking this specific, then from today try to have that outlook of a very mm, social justice. Start thinking about the marginalized. Start thinking about how you can empower, how litigation can help in making justice reach to everybody, make it more accessible.
Are there any common mistakes that applicants should avoid while applying to tests?
Yes. Lack of research when it comes to the institution itself. Know where you are applying, uh, and keep checking the website, both this and CUET, because if you miss on deadlines, then there's no going back. So make a calendar where you write everything that today I have to apply. This is the last date. I would require these documents from my college. So if you make sure you have all these in advance.
What resources or strategies would you recommend to students who are preparing for such entrance exams?
Resources, now I would suggest, I'm not sure about the CUAT part, but Bare Acts and the resources which one would use for net, mostly Bare Acts part.
Right.
And for this, for this specific, focus on constitution. So read Vidhi, whatever whatever are released by these think tanks.
Right, right.
So they would beat with the Observer Research Foundation, or CLPR, um, all these institutions, these civil society organizations, or these policy think tanks. Try reading at least one article about whatever they give of your area of interest. If you choose women and child, just at least know what is happening there, what are the loopholes in the laws. If you are sticking to LGBTQ rights, read about those. So choose your topic of interest and then make sure you have enough knowledge about those.
Right. So coming to the academic structure now, what is the academic structure of LLM program at TISS like, and how are the classes conducted? What is the teaching methodology, if you can tell?
Right. So the same four subjects, the same four foundational courses apply to everybody. That is um, research methodology and comparative public law, which are common across all LLM programs. The ones which are offered in TISS include law development and justice. Then we have legal and justice institutions, including court and case management. Then we have community and citizen participation. Then we have curriculum development and teaching laws, international human rights, international humanitarian and human rights law. Then we also have legal strategies for empowering the marginalized. These are specific to this, wherein you create some extremely interesting, some a bit boring, very theoretical. If you're not going to go for academia, then subject like curriculum development may become a bit monotonous.
Right.
But if you are going into teaching, or if you will be giving that exam, helps a lot.
So coming to the academic structure now, what is the academic structure of LLM program at TISS like, and how are the classes conducted? What is the teaching methodology, if you can tell?
Right. So the same four subjects, the same four foundational courses apply to everybody. That is um, research methodology and comparative public law, which are common across all LLM programs. The ones which are offered in TISS include law development and justice. Then we have legal and justice institutions, including court and case management. Then we have community and citizen participation. Then we have curriculum development and teaching laws, international human rights, international humanitarian and human rights law. Then we also have legal strategies for empowering the marginalized. These are specific to this, wherein you create some extremely interesting, some a bit boring, very theoretical. If you're not going to go.
Right. How did your LLM from TISS influence your career trajectory, and what opportunities did it open up for you?
Oh, it did open up a lot many doors for me in a way that I never thought I would go into teaching or research, never my areas of interest. But 1 year of TISS LLM, one more important thing was the dissertation is never doctrinal. It would always be an empirical, you will have to go on the field, get data. So only such dissertation topics are accepted there. So
Right.
1 whole year, and the block placements, the block fieldwork placements are one of each in 1 month semester. You have a 30-day block fieldwork placement. Mine were in Maharashtra State Human Rights Commission, and the other one was in one-stop centers of in KEM Hospital. So both gave me on-field experience when it came to how laws are being implemented at the ground level. And yeah, so why did I go there? Because
What opportunities did it open for you? You can also tell us
yes,
about any placement opportunities that TISS gives.
placement opportunities mostly since not core law, mostly includes policy think tanks. One of my I won't name the places, but they are there in governmental institutions. Most of them have cleared net. Most of them have cleared net and are assistant professors, and some work in civil society organizations. Many are into litigation. Many are giving judiciary exams. Even this helps in judiciary examination also.
Right.
And
So,
not many into firms. Corporate firms is not something one would opt for here.
right. So does
And
TISS provide any placements for students?
it does. There's a central placement cell also, wherein you get more of a social background work, social justice related work, like Pradhan, and there are other like those. College, I mean, the school also, the name is School of Rights, School of Law, Rights and Constitutional Governance. SLRCG is the test, it's School of Law, SLRCG under TISS. We also have a school specific placement, and it is still in a very early stage, it's still building. So, but yes, they do provide a placements relating to mostly civil society organizations and policy think tanks.
Right. So does one have to give the net also? I thought LLM was the only requirement if you have to go into teaching. So is it
Yes,
discretionary or
uh, most of the colleges are now only LLM would not suffice. You should either be enrolled into PhD or enroll or have a net.
right? Right.
There are colleges who may still take on the basis of LLM itself, but most of the college institutions are now changing their requirement. So net is something you would require to become an assistant professor.
Right. Lastly, what advice would you like to give to students who are considering pursuing an LLM from TISS?
Do it. Please do it. It's a beautiful place. The campus, it's a lush green campus, rich heritage. I mean, you get to you get to build connections with so many people, and they stay for a lifetime. This also has these field action projects called Prayas and Koshish. So you can always go and work there also. And it's different. It's completely different. The environment is different. The campus is different. I would not have chosen any other over this. I would still have chosen this again. And,
Right. With this, I believe we've covered all the important things that we needed to know about LLM from TISS. Thank you so very much for accommodating our request despite your busy schedule. I'm very positive this video will be of utmost help to everybody watching it. So thank you.
thank
On
you so
behalf of
much.
ILCC, I thank you again, and I wish you the best for your journey ahead.
Thank you, Niharika. It was nice speaking to you.